Hello guys and welcome back. I'm sorry I left you hanging for the 3-week period as I was traveling away and it was impossible for me to record YouTube videos. But I'm back and here is our latest tutorial on the date night look with my model Kat. Originally this video was supposed to be a Victoria's Secret model look, but somehow it's giving me more of a date night look, so I decided to name it that way. And I will plan to record another Victoria's Secret take in the following weeks as I was really inspired by their show. Alright guys, well let's begin, and I have a few new products that I would like to share with you today. And we are starting with this hydrating primer from the brand Flower Nose. This is Chinese brand with the most incredible packaging I have seen so far. Every makeup product from this collection looks like it came out from the fairy tale. Besides this primer is amazing. It is like a water in a glass for the skin. It's infused with white pond flower seed oil and 4D hyaluronic acid. And it did blur the skin a little bit, giving it super hydrated finish. Next, we are moving on to the foundation. And for today's look, my idea was to create the skin that is not overloaded with the product and looks like skin, really. So for this, I decided to use NARS Sheer Glow Foundation, which I normally mix with NARS Full Coverage Radiant Foundation. And so I did for Kat. But I realized that the formula mixing these two foundations together came out a little bit too heavy to my liking. So I decided to drop that idea and only use Sheer Glow in the end. What I also noticed that the foundation didn't quite sit as perfectly as I have intended. And for this, I have a little trick for you guys. If you feel like your foundation is not quite melting into the skin the way you wanted it, that means that something is wrong with your skin preparation or the formula of the foundation does not quite suit your skin type. If this is happening during my work, what I like to do is to try and spray the Too Faced Hangover spray all over the foundation that I have applied but not powdered yet, and with a wet beauty blender push the foundation one more time into the skin, and every time this trick works like magic. For the concealer, I'm using Armani's Luminous Silk Concealer, which you guys know I adore and use often, especially when I need to create skin that looks like skin finish. For Kat today, this concealer was just perfect, and I selected a slightly lighter shade for under the eye area, just so I can drag a little bit more attention to the beautiful eyeshadow that we are going to be applying further. And this, as you can see, done the trick. Once I applied a slightly lighter shade, it has brightened up the whole face. And also this will bring more attention onto the eye area. And guys, as I'm blending the concealer, it is a good time to pause this video and show me some love by leaving a comment underneath. As you guys know, this helps the engagement and pushes my videos up to wider audience. Since I am selecting finer textures for Kat's makeup, for the contouring, I decided to use this iconic shade and Illuminate Cream Contour and a Highlighter from Tom Ford. If you guys didn't know, this is a staple product in many makeup artists' kits. And why do we love it so much? Is because it is of very fine and kind of refined, I guess, texture. It's not too in your face, it's very sheer, and as you can see, not overly pigmented. It's really easy to blend into the skin for this super natural finish. And as I'm creating the slight definition all over the face, I'm also blending the product into the eye socket. This will give me the first level of definition on the eyes. Another incredible product that I would like to share with you today is this DELILAH Stay the Night Shadow Stick. This one is in the shade Pink Champagne, and I am generously applying it all over the eyelid, all the way up to the socket. And I'm also applying the same eyeshadow stick all around the eye, and I'm joining the inner corner together with the outer corner. These sticks, they are fantastic. They are very long wearing, but you also have a little bit of time before they set. So this is what I was doing now. Before they set, I took a fresh blending brush, preferably synthetic one, as it will pick up less product on it. And I am smudging all the edges all around the eye for that super soft, smoky finish. So this is going to act as our eyeshadow base, and we're going to build the shading on top of it. So for today's look, we are only going to be using this Dior Backstage eyeshadow palette in the shade Smoky Essentials. And I am selecting this neutral shade and duplicating the areas where I have applied the caviar stick. All around those areas, I need to set them in place. Once I've done this, next I'm moving on to the definition of the eye, and I'm doing this with Costa Riche eyeliner from MAC. It's a gorgeous universal brown shade with a slight aubergine reddish tinge in it, and it will perfectly suit all of the eye shades as long as your complexion is more on a warm side. It will bring the blue in the blue eyes, green in the green eyes, and it will nicely complement the brown eye shade as well. So I am applying this liner all over the eye, all around the eye, from the first eyelash to the last eyelash and very close to the lash line. So I need to make sure that there is no harsh lines left. So I am selecting a small blending brush and making sure that everything is nicely blended. This look is all about doughy eyes, soft eyes. We are not going to have any harsh liners. Everything is going to be smooth and blending from one shade in to the other. Now guys, this pencil is not a self-setting pencil, so unless powdered, it will keep moving. So it's really important that we select complementary eyeshadow to set it in place. And for this, I'm using this kind of aubergine shade from the same Dior palette. And using a small bullet brush, I am setting the liner in place. So everywhere where I have applied this Costa Riche liner needs to be duplicated with a similar shade of the eyeshadow. And to make sure that there is no harsh edges left, I'm taking the blending brush and one more time going over the whole eyelid, making sure that everything is blending from one shade to another. One last thing that I wanted to add to the eyes is the little pop of shimmer. And for this, I'm going to use this Tom Ford eyeshadow palette, which is called Honeymoon. And with my finger, I'm going to apply this golden shade all over the eyelid. This will create a slightly bigger definition in between the smoky eyeshadow and the lighter shade, and also will draw more attention onto the eyes. For the mascara, I'm going to use this Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara. This is my new mascara. I like it. I really enjoy using it on my models and on my clients. It's a little bit more on a thicker side, which is perfect for this look. Originally, I wanted to apply false lashes, but I decided not to, as we were shooting this look in the style of a magazine cover. So I thought putting false lashes may have been an overkill and will look a little bit tacky. But now looking back at the video, I thought actually that wouldn't be a bad idea. But we didn't do it on a day, so it is what it is. And next, I am brightening the eye by applying Charlotte Tilbury's Eye Cheat to the waterline, and this will create the vision of more open and larger eye. Moving on to the blush, and I'm going to show you 4 different blush products today. I'm going to start with my new DELILAH Radiant Liquid Blush in the shade Peony, which is beautiful, highly pigmented product actually, but once you apply it in a fine layer, it melts into the skin, leaving a really beautiful pinky shade to the cheeks. This DELILAH blush is not matte, but it's also not shimmery. So my next blush that I'm going to apply is my new blush. This one is from RODIAL and it's a liquid blush in the shade Frosted Pink. It has a slight shimmer in its formula, and once applied, it's creating a really beautiful highlighter kind of a glow. So I'm concentrating this lighter shade on the area where I would normally apply highlighter. This will give the cheek a slightly more fresh finish with a slight reflection. And whatever was left on my brush, I am dabbing all over the nose and slightly all over the chin and the Cupid's bow area. I have another few blushers to show you, but before I move into the powder blush, I'm going to show you this new highlighter of mine, also from the brand Flower Nose. It appears to be really pigmented at first, but actually if you put this on the back of your hand first and then pick it up with the fluffy brush, as you can see, it is nowhere near as metallic as it looked originally. So I am duplicating my Frosted Pink blusher from RODIAL and applying this highlighter all over the highest points of the cheeks. Next, we need to powder everything, and of course I'm using one of my favorite powders from Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, if I remember correctly. Gorgeous formula, mattifies and also blurs the skin a little bit, so it's fantastic for a date night look. After we powdered, we can go over and add a slightly more definition to the contours of the face. And for this, I'm using this Nudegasm palette from Charlotte Tilbury as well. And the contouring powders are my favorite shades from this palette. As you can see, I rarely touch the highlighter part as I find it's a little bit too glittery. But this formula of the contouring shade is perfect. It's not overly pigmented. It always blends seamlessly and it's so easy to use. Now we're coming back to the blushers, and I am going to show you another two beautiful blushers that I adore using. And this one is the new palette from Dior, and it's kind of a highlighter palette as it's not overly pigmented, but it creates a super beautiful glow. This one has a slight pink tinge, so I wanted to duplicate my RODIAL shimmery liquid blusher with the powder, and as you can see, it creates a very subtle pinky glow, but it doesn't add a lot of color onto the cheeks. So for this reason, I have decided to add another shade of the blusher, and this one is the pink blusher from Jones Road. Now these little beasts are incredible. They are tiny and very lightweight, which is perfect for my kit, but they are super pigmented. So you have to use a really soft, fluffy, preferably natural bristle brush to push this product into the skin seamlessly. So little bit goes a long way. Just be careful not to overdo. All right, guys, moving on to the brows now. I wanted to keep brows fairly natural. Kat has fantastic brow shape. We just need to fill in a slight gaps here and there. And this is what I am doing now using my favorite Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo in the shade Granite or Granite, I'm not entirely sure. And with the angled brush, I am just filling in the gaps and helping the shape to kind of be a little bit more groomed and a slightly more defined, but I don't want any harsh lines on the brows. Once I've put the color onto the brows, I can then go over and brush them up using my favorite brow gel from Got2b, which will keep the brow hairs in place all evening. Next, we're going to define the lips, but before we move on to the lipstick, I want to show you a little trick to enlarge your lip shape a little bit by applying a light contouring in the middle of the pout on the bottom and the top lip. The goal here is to create only a slight shadow, so make sure to blend it really well. So once this is done, I then go and add lipstick. Today I'm using my new lipstick from DELILAH in the shade Hush, which is beautiful pinkish shade, very close to Kat's natural lip color, which is fantastic as we want the pout to look romantic, sophisticated, beautiful but not in your face kind of a shade, and this one is fantastic. So once I've applied it all over, I then choose a very similar lip liner shade. This one is also from DELILAH, in the shade Buff, which is very close to the lipstick shade that we chose. And I'm going over and lightly lining the lip. Now, once I've done it, I decided that I didn't want too harsh of a line. So with a clean eyeshadow brush, I'm just softening the edges lightly. I loved the lip that we created, but I felt like it was lacking a slight definition. So I decided to use another lipstick. This one is from the brand Limbos, and it's their amazing SPF 50 lipstick, which is really thick in consistency and is very pigmented. But the reason I chose it is because it's a perfect shade up from the original shade we used, and it is a great choice to define the outer parts and the inner part of the lips further. So that will create just a slightly darker shade in these areas and a vision of more 3D lip. After the lipstick, I decided to use gloss. This is my new gloss from MAC in the shade Cultured. As you can see, guys, I'm showing you all my newbies this video. Let me know if you're rating it. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below which of the products you would like to try after watching my video. Okay, guys, a few more products to show you before we finish this video. This one is the highlighter from Flower Nose brand. As you can see, every product is just magical. It's just such a fine work on product development and also the packaging. So this highlighter I wanted to add in the inner parts of the eyes, so-called tear ducts, for a slightly more luminous finish and also to draw more attention to the eyes. And now I was nearly done with the look, so I started to undo the hair when I realized that I forgot about the body. And of course, we cannot leave the body without attention. So for the body today, I am using Luna highlighter from Huda Beauty. And I mix it together with my favorite Nivea body cream, as I find that Luna highlighter on its own, it just can be a little bit too metallic-y to my liking. And here is my Victoria's Secret, date night look is completed. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I did a right thing by renaming this video to the date night look? I mean, Kat looks fantastic in this look, and she could walk Victoria's Secret catwalk, no sweat. But I just felt like we've ended up being a little bit too romantic. But anyway, you will be the judge to that. So let me know in the comments if you think I did a right choice by renaming it or not. Also, don't forget, guys, that request videos are welcome. I have not had your requests for quite some time now. So if you want me to create anything specific for you that will help you to get better at makeup or solve any of your makeup problems, pop everything in the comments below and I will make sure to get back to you or even to record a video answering your questions. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram at Tamara Todd. And thank you very much for watching. And I see you on my next one.